Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Friday the 18th of January. So, well, before I get on to the update today and look at the Outlook today, I just thought I would brief you on what actually happens in our trading room once, I actually record this live in our trading room when I'm live in the trading room personally. So what happens from there onwards? Well, yesterday, actually, I'll just flick across to where the euro. I really couldn't see where it was going. And it didn't go anywhere really. The pound, it was struggling all over the shop as well. It's in this tight old place, and I was struggling looking for a trade in the first thing when I was looking through the room, and then we had this spike down here. And the next thing is we sort of put in this sort of movement here, and this gave me the view that we may be going for the stops. Now I looked at the order book, which I've just popped in here for you. I looked at this order book, and you can probably see that there were some levels in here. In fact, initially, it's not gone back far enough for you, but I was looking at these sort of areas around the. Actually, this was the earlier part. Beg your pardon. If you look here. This was the earlier point. I haven't updated this chart. I just had left it where it was. But I could see these buy orders sitting above, and the way the market had bounced, to me it looked like it was a strong early morning bounce, and we had potential. So so what happened next? Well, we got in long. Now I just thought I'd give you a screenshot from part of the room there. This is what we did. Went long cable. We only went half a position overall. Because of the risk with the trading the pound at the moment, the pound dollar. We put the stop in. Target's 29.08, 29.50. So what happened? Well, in the room itself, it took a long time to get to the first target. It took a long time, but we got 35 pips. That first target there at 29.08 gave us 35 pips, and you see there we stop move. First target hit there at 11:30. Took quite a long old time in the morning, and then look at 5 o'clock. Now I actually closed this just 4 or 5 pips before the ultimate target, and of course it just carried on going, but it run up into some key resistance I was looking at on the slightly shorter time frame, and I just thought, oh, this may be done here. At 29.45 we took out for 72 pips. So it was it had done everything I expected and a little bit more. It was running. We were just running into this sort of area here, and it just pitched in up to 45. Just is actually showing slightly different, but regardless, out we came, and that was the day for 72 pips. So that's how it looks. Now I just thought I'd remind you that you can actually sign up to come for 2 days free in our live trading room. So I'll leave if you look below the videos, you'll find a sign up for link. Right, okay. So the pound dollar, what we got, in fact the euro dollar, let's run through what we got today. So I just thought I'd share that, because some people think, well, what's the point of these outlooks? Well, the point is to set us up for the morning, and what I'm looking at the moment on the euro dollar here is potentially a bounce from where it is. It sort of tried to bounce yesterday and failed. We'll see. Well, I'm just sort of looking at it was sort of grinding out a sort of well, there was a double divergence over the hourlies yesterday, and I was sort of looking at that, and it's not done much from it. Okay, it came down and pitched a little bit lower, so I'll have to be careful here when I'm looking at this. Or I was looking at a regression channel there just to see where price was coming back to. Where's it sitting now? Well, it's a bit consolidated. It hasn't sold off any further. It hasn't put a divergence on this time frame. It on the MACD there. It, actually, well, yeah, it's a divergence on there. There's a quadruple, a quad even, quadruple. A triple divergence even, that it threw in there in the end. So it's sitting there. It's got the potential to push on upwards, so may look to the upside. The only problem is everything's so pinched at the moment, making the targets and looking quite tight to see. Maybe we get up beyond the 4 hourly 50, 4 hourly 21 up towards, well, the 500 if we get any sort of legs into it. Just need to look at the normal average true range of the day, which is probably at the moment 70-80 pips. So look at where 80 pips will give us, and look at where we may find some resistance on that one. Okay, that's euro. Pound. Pound shot through the trend line yesterday as well, so the pound is looking rather bullish, but it sort of and it closed towards the top, which should suggest some further movement here, but it may be getting ahead of itself, to be fair, in terms of what we're seeing. It's just consolidating where it is at the moment. Maybe that is just a bit of consolidation before we see some further upside, but we do have the daily pivot underneath, and before I was to be looking for longs, I'd rather see that hit. So maybe a case that we're just waiting a bit this morning to see that daily pivot hit, but if and when it gets hit, we could be looking for the upside. Alternative is to draw a trend line across the highs here and be looking for the break of the upside. There certainly is some potential further upside there. Dollar yen. I know you may think I'm a little crazy on the pound there in terms of thinking more upside, but the more and more this Brexit chat goes on, the more likely that the no deal is disappearing. But we'll see. It may get very bearish yet. Okay, dollar yen. Well, that's sliding its way up further. It's pushing up, edging ever increasingly upwards, and there we go. From the yesterday pulled off there back towards that 50 area. That we were seeing in the morning. We just got that back into the morning, and it's bounced off that again. Took a long time yesterday, but pushing upwards, just perhaps a bit more risk going into the market. So risk is back on. Now if it starts reversing at all today, it has got a daily pivot target down the back there, but at the moment it's looking relatively strong. Aussie dollar. From a daily point of view, I was talking about this yesterday. I was looking for the another opportunity. I'd originally been stopped out in a little swing long. It's set up quite a bullish bar. Well, we'll see. It could give a bit of a move back up there yet. I'm still erring technically on a bullish side after, but this downward sort of trend is seems to be dragging out a little bit too long. It's starting to be too long in terms of what it's doing. Good spike up yesterday afternoon there, or evening, but consolidating at the moment right into the daily pivot. Has it got some potential for further upside? Well, yep. Would I be trading it intraday today? No, but I sort of like the potential for this continuation more so from the bigger picture. And finally, the Canadian dollar. When it eventually loads there, be good. So the Canadian dollar, it pitched up yesterday a little bit further and ran into the underside there of the S1, monthly S1, and it's put a bit of a reversal in from that. It's strengthened a little bit from that, but you can see it's just chopping. But there's a lot of consolidation going on in these markets at the moment, and this is no exception with the Canadian dollar. A bit of consolidation at these days, just chopping, not really knowing, and sometimes it's best just to be very patient, and I was patient yesterday. It was quite late when we took our first trade there on the pound. In fact, how late was it? It was pretty late, but sorry, I'll just show you how late it was. It's 9:53, nearly 10 o'clock. It's almost out of my trading zone in terms of wanting to trade in the mornings. Right, so Canadian dollar selling off in the short term here, but I think it need a bit of patience. It may have more downside. Really looking at the price of oil to capture ideas of downside upside potential. Where it's got more downside if oil could get a bit more of a shove on. Let's have a look on the dailies there. Yep. So if oil pushes up this morning, say today, there is some potential further upside there for downside in terms of the US dollar stroke Canadian dollar. So there we go. Have it all news wise today. We've got the G20 meetings continuing in Japan, he says, and we've also got today, he flicks on the button, right, so we've got retail sales to the UK. Now that could just be a spoiler at 9:30, so just be really wary if you're trading a pound this morning. And then we've got inflation data for the Canadian dollar there at 1:30. FOMC speaker 2:05, so we've had as much dovishness as we can cope with almost for the US dollar, but that's really well priced in there now. So we've got another voting member speaking later today. May create a bit of volatility for those that have forgotten that they're probably going to be putting interest rates on hold for some time. But there we are. Have a great day, and I'll speak to you Monday. Bye for now.